The chair recognizes the gentleman from Kentucky, Mr. Massie, for 30 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Before I begin, I ask unanimous consent that all members have 5 legislative days to revise and extend their remarks and include extraneous materials on the topic of my special order.
Without objection.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to speak in opposition to H.R. 684 and S. 743, the Marketplace Fairness Act, otherwise known as the Internet Sales Tax, or as I call it, the Interstate Commerce Sales Tax. I'm concerned that this new tax on American consumers passed the Senate too quickly, without enough debate, and has the quiet support of several members here in the House. Unfortunately, many of my colleagues opposed to the bill here in the House have taken a quiet, wait-and-see attitude. They don't want to vote, so to speak. Well, it's time to quit being quiet on this issue. The American public deserves a full and open debate on this bill before any legislative action is taken in this body. This evening, my colleagues and I will begin that debate. I'm confident that when members and their constituents grasp the full ramifications of this onerous piece of legislation, they will oppose it as well. Many states in this country are in dire financial straits. They've lavished overly generous pension plans on their state employees and offered tax credits and financial incentives to their favorite businesses. They've promised more than they can deliver while sometimes letting essential services go neglected. State governments bear the responsibility for their financial situations, yet they are looking to the federal government for a bailout. Make no mistake, this Internet tax is the bailout they're seeking. Without raising taxes, state governments can expect billions of dollars of Americans' hard-earned money to flow to their treasuries if this bill passes. And how would this happen? By passing a bill that proclaims to impose fairness. Who else is for this bill? Large retailers. They've got lots of representatives up here talking to us. They're on the Internet and they're off the Internet, but they're for this bill. They're weary of competing with small and nimble businesses. And that's natural to want to have economic barriers to entry, because it's an economic fact that in the absence of innovation in a market with no barriers to entry, profits go to zero in the long run. But how do we create barriers to entry in the United States? How do we compete? It's through innovation. America is the country of innovation. You can invent something. You could make a new piece of music. You could be nicer to your employees than the other company is. Or you can come up with a new, more efficient way of manufacturing your products. But I suggest to you, Mr. Speaker, that sending representatives to Washington, D.C. to impose financial hardships on your competitors is not the American way. Some have said that this bill is about states' rights, and I'm a strong proponent of states' rights. But this bill does nothing to protect states' rights. In fact, this bill changes the very fabric, the constitutional fabric, of the United States of America by subjecting people and businesses in one state to the taxes and regulations of another state. This is unprecedented. For the first time in history, this bill would grant states jurisdictions beyond their physical borders. If this bill passes, we'll have a virtual United States of America, where borders no longer mean anything. Justice Marshall ruled that the power to tax is the power to destroy. And we were reminded last week by the IRS's admission that the power to tax is the power to harass. I urge other members of Congress to consider the dangerous implications of granting individual states authority over individuals in other states. Before my colleagues get into the details of this new tax, I'd like to point out that no one, not a single person, has argued that this bill will help our economy. Even proponents of this bill must concede that it increases taxes on American consumers and adds burdensome regulations to small businesses. That's where this debate will begin and end. This bill is bad for our economy. I now yield